Most folks don't think too hard about their everyday habits. They figure, hey, I've made it this far. I must be doing something right. But the truth is, after 60, your body, your mind, your energy, all of it starts to shift in subtle but serious ways. What used to be harmless routines can slowly turn into hidden risks. That's why today we're going to talk about 10 everyday habits that might seem small, but could be quietly working against your health and happiness as you get older. Not to scare you, not to judge, but to bring a little awareness to things that could make a real difference down the road. Because sometimes the key to aging well isn't just what you add to your life, it's what you let go of. If you or someone you love is navigating life after 60, this is for you. Whether you're already feeling the weight of some of these habits, or you're just trying to stay ahead of the curve, stick around. This isn't about perfection, it's about small shifts that can lead to better energy, clearer thinking, and a greater sense of peace in the years ahead. And hey, if even one of these hits home for you, that's a good sign. It means your body and your instincts are paying attention. So let's get started. Number 1, skipping meals or eating too little. Now this might surprise you because a lot of older adults actually eat less on purpose. Maybe they're not as hungry as they used to be, or maybe they think eating less will help them keep the weight off. But the truth is, as your body ages, it still needs regular fuel to function properly. Skipping meals doesn't just mean you miss out on calories. It means your blood sugar takes a hit, your energy dips, and your muscles don't get the nutrients they need to stay strong. And for older adults, maintaining muscle is one of the biggest factors in preventing falls and staying mobile. It's also about brain health. When you skip meals, especially breakfast, you can start to feel foggy or irritable. That's not just a mood thing. That's your brain literally running low on the glucose it needs to work right. And if that keeps happening over time, it can contribute to memory problems or mood swings that feel like they come out of nowhere. We're not saying you need to eat big meals or snack all day, but a consistent routine with balanced meals, especially ones with protein, healthy fats, and fiber, can go a long way in keeping your mind and body sharp. So if you've been in the habit of skipping meals, ask yourself why. Is it convenience? Is it a loss of appetite? Is it just something you've always done? Because now might be the time to rethink that pattern. Even something as simple as a protein shake in the morning or a small bowl of soup at lunch can make a difference. And if appetite is an issue, it might be worth talking to a doctor or nutritionist. Sometimes low appetite is a sign of something deeper going on, whether it's a medication side effect or a digestive issue. But the bottom line is this: eating less isn't always eating better. And if you've ever felt that afternoon slump, or found yourself feeling weak when you get up too fast, or noticed your memory isn't quite what it used to be, it could be tied to how you're fueling your body. Aging well starts with nourishment, not just surviving, but thriving. Give your body the energy it needs to support you, and it'll show up for you in return. Number 2, not drinking enough water. This one's sneaky because by the time you feel thirsty, you're already dehydrated. And as we age, that natural thirst signal becomes weaker. So it's easy to go through the day without drinking much of anything and not even realize it. But your body definitely notices. Dehydration can cause headaches, fatigue, dizziness, dry skin, constipation, and even confusion or disorientation in older adults. That's no small thing. Staying hydrated is one of the easiest ways to keep your systems running smoothly. And no, it doesn't have to be 8 glasses a day for everyone. That number gets tossed around a lot, but what matters more is consistency. Sip throughout the day, not just when you remember. If plain water doesn't appeal to you, try adding a slice of lemon or cucumber. Herbal teas count too, and so do water-rich foods like fruits, veggies, and soups. Just be mindful of drinks that dehydrate you, like coffee, soda, or alcohol. Those don't replace water, they actually increase your body's need for it. Think of water as lubrication for your entire system. It keeps your joints moving, your digestion flowing, and your brain sharp. If you've been feeling more sluggish lately, or if you get dizzy when standing, hydration might be part of the problem. It's such a simple fix, but most people overlook it. And in older adults, dehydration is one of the top reasons for hospital visits. So don't underestimate it. Make drinking water a daily priority, not an afterthought. And if you're on medications, this is even more important. Some prescriptions increase your risk of dehydration or affect your electrolyte balance. That's another reason to stay ahead of it. You might not notice the change overnight, but your body will thank you over time. Every cell in your body relies on water. Keep those cells happy. Keep your body hydrated. It's one of the most powerful habits you can build as you age. Number 3, avoiding movement or staying too sedentary. Now, we all know that exercise is good for us, right? But let's be honest, after 60, moving around isn't always easy. Maybe your joints hurt, or you get tired quicker than you used to, or you just don't feel motivated. And before you know it, hours or even whole days go by without much physical activity. But here's the thing, your body was made to move, and when it doesn't, it starts to break down. Muscles weaken, joints stiffen, circulation slows, and even your mood takes a hit. Staying sedentary can quietly chip away at your strength, your energy, and your independence. And we're not talking about running marathons here. Even gentle movement, like walking, stretching, or light strength training, can help maintain mobility and prevent falls. Just 30 minutes a day of moderate activity can boost your mood, improve sleep, support heart health, and even protect brain function. Movement keeps the body young. It reminds your muscles and bones what they're capable of, and it gives your brain the oxygen and stimulation it needs to stay sharp. The less you move, the faster your world shrinks. And no one wants to feel trapped in their own body. So ask yourself, are you moving enough? And if not, what's getting in the way? Maybe you're afraid of getting hurt, or maybe you're not sure where to start. But there's always a way. Chair yoga, stretching in bed, walking in place during commercials, it all counts. And over time, those small efforts add up. The body responds to consistency. It's not about pushing through pain. It's about reminding your body that it's still alive, still capable, still worthy of care. You don't stop moving because you get old. You get old because you stop moving. Which brings us to number 4, ignoring sleep problems. This one's easy to brush off. Maybe you've been waking up in the middle of the night, or you're tossing and turning more than usual, or you just don't feel rested even after a full night in bed. You figure it's just part of getting older. But poor sleep isn't just annoying, it's dangerous. Sleep is when your body repairs itself, when your brain processes memory, when your immune system resets. And when you don't get good sleep, it affects everything, from your balance to your blood pressure to your emotional resilience. Older adults often deal with issues like sleep apnea, restless legs, or frequent nighttime bathroom trips. And instead of getting help, they just learn to live with it. But untreated sleep disorders can lead to serious problems like falls, heart disease, or cognitive decline. If you've been struggling with sleep for more than a few weeks, it's worth bringing up with your doctor. There might be an underlying issue that can be treated. And even if it's just age-related changes in your sleep cycle, there are things you can do to improve it. Keep a consistent sleep schedule. Limit caffeine after noon. Avoid screens before bed. Try a wind-down routine, maybe reading, soft music, or deep breathing. Make your bedroom cool, dark, and quiet, and pay attention to how you feel during the day. If you're always groggy, snapping at loved ones, or struggling to focus, your sleep might be the culprit. And don't just rely on sleep aids unless they're medically necessary. Many over-the-counter pills can make sleep worse in the long run and increase your risk of falls or confusion. You deserve good sleep. It's not a luxury, it's a basic need. And if something's interfering with that, don't ignore it. Your quality of life depends on it. Just like a car runs better after a tune-up, your body functions better after real rest. Don't settle for restless nights. Take sleep seriously, because when you sleep better, you live better. You might think a little insomnia here or there isn't a big deal, but over time, it adds up. Chronic poor sleep is linked to depression, high blood sugar, even early dementia. It slows down healing, weakens your immune system, and clouds your judgment. Your brain needs that deep sleep to reset. So does your heart, and your mood, and your energy. Everything works better when you're well rested. So if sleep has been elusive lately, don't just shrug it off. Give it your attention. You've earned the right to wake up feeling refreshed. And remember, it's never too late to make changes. A lot of older adults see major improvements in their sleep once they start being intentional about it. Just like movement and hydration, sleep is one of the foundational pieces of good health. When you're well rested, you have more patience, more clarity, more vitality, And that makes everything else easier. Your relationships, your focus, your appetite, even your motivation to move. It all connects. So give your body the sleep it's asking for. You'll be amazed at how much better you feel. We're only 4 habits in, and already you might be noticing some patterns. These aren't extreme changes. These are simple, everyday choices that slowly shape the way you age. And the beauty is, it's never too late to shift. Every day is a new opportunity to listen to your body, to give it what it needs, to take one step closer to the kind of life you want to live in your later years. We've got 6 more powerful habits to explore, so stay with me. Up next, we're going to talk about something that affects not just your body, but your entire outlook on life. Number 5, staying socially isolated. Now this one can sneak up on you. Maybe you retired and lost daily contact with coworkers. Maybe you've lost friends over the years, or family members live far away. Or maybe health issues make it harder to get out like you used to. Before long, the days start to feel quiet, maybe even lonely. And while a little solitude can be peaceful, chronic isolation can be harmful. Studies show that loneliness has the same impact on your health as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. Let that sink in. It doesn't just affect your mood, it increases your risk of heart disease, dementia, depression, and even early death. Humans are wired for connection. We thrive when we feel seen, heard, and valued. And as we age, that need doesn't go away. In fact, it becomes even more important. But here's the challenge. The older we get, the easier it becomes to pull away, to say no to invitations, to avoid new friendships, to stay in the comfort of routine. And slowly, our world shrinks. But the people who age well, who stay vibrant and sharp, they usually have one thing in common. They stay connected. They keep showing up, even when it feels awkward or inconvenient. They make the effort to reach out, to chat with a neighbor, to join a club or group, even if it's just once a week. Social health is just as vital as physical health. So if you've been spending most of your days alone, ask yourself, when was the last time you had a meaningful conversation? When did you last laugh with someone? Share a meal? Talk about your day? If it's been too long, that's your sign to make a change. Maybe it's calling an old friend. Maybe it's signing up for a local senior center program. Maybe it's even joining an online community or starting a hobby group. The goal isn't to be busy all the time. It's to make sure you feel connected, supported, part of something. Because loneliness isn't just sad, it's dangerous. And the longer it goes unaddressed, the harder it becomes to pull out of it. But the good news is, it only takes one connection to start shifting your world. And that connection might be closer than you think. So don't wait, reach out, say yes. Make space in your life for the people who remind you that you still matter. Because you do. You absolutely do. Now, number 6, not drinking enough water. This one sounds so basic that most people overlook it completely. But dehydration is incredibly common in older adults, and it's often mistaken for other issues. Feeling dizzy, tired, confused, constipated, or even anxious. Sometimes that's not age or illness, it's just dehydration. As we get older, our sense of thirst weakens. We may not feel thirsty even when our body desperately needs water. And with many seniors taking medications that affect fluid balance, it's even more important to stay on top of hydration. You might think, well, I drink coffee or tea, isn't that enough? Not quite. While those count for some hydration, nothing replaces good old-fashioned water. Your organs, your joints, your skin, your brain, they all function better when you're properly hydrated. Water keeps everything moving. It helps regulate temperature, flush out toxins, support digestion, and even cushion your joints. And it can help prevent urinary tract infections, kidney problems, and that dreaded late-day fatigue. If you're someone who forgets to drink water, try building a routine. Keep a bottle nearby. Sip regularly throughout the day instead of waiting until you feel thirsty. Add lemon, cucumber, or mint if plain water feels boring. Herbal teas, broths, even water-rich fruits and veggies like watermelon or cucumber, they all help. And if you're concerned about nighttime bathroom trips, try front-loading your fluids earlier in the day. Just don't skip it altogether. Your body needs water to function, no matter your age. You'd be amazed how many issues improve just by staying hydrated. Headaches lessen, energy returns, skin looks healthier, digestion improves, and thinking becomes clearer. It's such a simple fix, but it makes a huge difference. And yet, it's one of the first habits to slip as we age. Don't let that be you. Respect your body by giving it what it needs, especially something as easy and powerful as water. Small sips, big results. So let's pause here for a second. We've talked about 6 everyday habits that seem small but carry big weight. Ignoring hydration, staying isolated, brushing off sleep issues, avoiding movement, skipping meals, and suppressing emotions. These are all things that add up slowly over time. And the longer they go unchecked, the more they influence how we age. Not just physically, but emotionally, mentally, spiritually. So take a breath. Reflect. Which of these 6 habits do you recognize in yourself? Which one might you want to shift? Because change doesn't have to be dramatic to be effective. It just has to be intentional. A little more water, a walk around the block, a phone call, a few extra minutes of sleep. That's how transformation happens, in small, quiet, consistent ways. So if something I've said is resonating with you, I invite you to commit to one shift this week. Just one. And you might be surprised at how much better you feel. Coming up next, we're going to talk about how the people you surround yourself with can influence your health more than you realize. Number 7, spending too much time in toxic environments. Now, this one isn't always obvious at first because toxic doesn't always mean loud or aggressive or chaotic. Sometimes it's the low hum of tension every time you walk in the door, the subtle discomfort in your chest when a certain person calls, the quiet dread of another passive-aggressive comment or cold shoulder. Toxic environments wear you down slowly, and you might not even notice how much it's affecting you until one day, your body's screaming for a break. It shows up in your sleep, in your digestion, in your blood pressure. Chronic stress, even when it's emotional or social, raises cortisol levels, weakens your immune system, and accelerates aging. And here's the thing. After 60, your body doesn't recover from that stress the same way it did in your 30s or 40s. Your tolerance shifts, not because you're fragile, but because you're wiser. You start to see how emotional atmosphere is just as important to longevity as food or exercise. You stop asking, "Can I handle this?" and start asking, "Why should I have to?" And that's a powerful shift. Because when you start valuing peace, it changes everything. You stop saying yes to every obligation, stop explaining yourself to people who don't listen, and start creating space where you can breathe. That might mean setting boundaries, speaking up, or even limiting time around certain people. And in some cases, it might mean walking away altogether, not because you're giving up, but because you're choosing your health, your sanity, your future. Now let's be real, not everyone can leave a toxic situation overnight. Maybe it's family, maybe it's complicated, but even in those cases, you can carve out micro moments of peace. A room in the house that's just yours, a quiet walk, a daily practice of journaling or prayer, a reminder that your well-being matters even if the people around you forget to treat it that way. The people who age well, who stay emotionally and physically strong, they don't stick around places that drain them. They find ways to build safety, even if it starts small. So if you're in a space that constantly makes you feel small, anxious, or on edge, that's your body talking to you. And it's not weakness, it's wisdom. It's your nervous system saying, "We can't keep doing this." And the truth is, you don't have to. You don't have to keep absorbing energy that doesn't belong to you. You don't have to pretend everything's fine when it's not. You're allowed to want peace. You're allowed to protect your joy. You're allowed to choose environments that heal instead of harm. And sometimes choosing peace doesn't look like a dramatic exit. Sometimes it's a quiet decision to stop engaging in drama, to stop defending yourself to people committed to misunderstanding you, to stop hoping that things will change when history shows they won't. And that decision, just that one, can free up so much mental and emotional energy. Enough to sleep better, to laugh more, to think clearly, to live. People who thrive in their later years often have one thing in common. They've stopped spending time in rooms where their spirit can't breathe. They've learned to recognize the cost of staying where they don't feel safe. And they've decided that peace is non-negotiable. So if there's a place in your life right now that feels emotionally unsafe, take it seriously, because your health is listening. Your body keeps score. Your nervous system remembers. And no amount of vitamins, green smoothies, or yoga can undo the damage of prolonged emotional stress. So protect your peace like it's part of your healthcare plan, because it is. And if you've been telling yourself it's not that bad, or that you should be able to handle it, I want you to ask a different question. What if the healthiest thing you could do for yourself isn't pushing through, but stepping back? What if the next chapter of your life doesn't have to include anything that makes you feel less than whole? Because the truth is, your peace matters. It matters more than your role, more than your image, more than what people might say. Your health depends on it. Number 8, overusing alcohol or self-medication. Let's talk about something that a lot of people don't want to talk about. We live in a culture where having a drink at the end of the day, popping a pill to fall asleep, or taking something just to take the edge off is seen as normal, even harmless. But the truth is, as you get older, your body becomes more sensitive to what you put into it. That glass of wine that used to help you relax might now interfere with your sleep, raise your blood pressure, or interact with medications in dangerous ways. Your liver doesn't process alcohol the way it used to. Your muscle mass changes, your water retention shifts, and your tolerance drops. So the same amount that once felt like no big deal can now hit harder, stay in your system longer, and have side effects that show up in ways you might not expect. Maybe you're feeling more tired than usual, more foggy in the mornings, a little more unstable on your feet. Maybe your mood feels flat or anxious. And maybe you haven't connected those dots back to the substances you're using because it crept in so slowly. And this isn't about judgment, it's about awareness. Because what starts as a once-in-a-while thing can easily become a daily habit. And once it becomes part of your routine, it gets harder to notice how much it's impacting you. Especially with sleep aids, pain relievers, or anxiety pills. They might help in the short term, but over time, they can affect your memory, weaken your reflexes, and even make you more prone to falls or confusion. And nobody tells you this up front. You just wake up one day wondering why you don't feel like yourself anymore. Now here's the good news. You don't have to quit everything cold turkey unless it's necessary. What you can do is check in with yourself honestly. Ask, am I using this to help myself heal, or am I using it to avoid something? That question alone can change the entire way you approach your habits. Because the people who stay strong and clear-headed into their 70s and 80s and beyond, they tend to lean into natural ways of restoring themselves. A walk outside, a hot shower, deep breathing, talking to someone who listens instead of numbing out. It's not that they never have a glass of wine or take a painkiller when needed. It's that they pay attention to the why and the how often. They listen to their body. They notice how their mood changes afterward. They treat substances with respect, not as solutions. And that difference between a mindful choice and an automatic habit can be the difference between thriving and just getting by. Because when you're constantly self-medicating, you're not just dulling the pain. You're also dulling your joy, your clarity, and sometimes your ability to respond to what your body's really asking for. Maybe it's rest. Maybe it's connection. Maybe it's a new routine that helps you sleep better or feel more energized. But you don't get to hear those messages when everything's covered in a chemical fog. And when you start clearing that fog, even just a little, things begin to shift. You remember what it feels like to wake up clear-headed. You start noticing subtle signals from your body before they become big problems. You start trusting yourself again. And that's huge, especially in a world that often encourages quick fixes over real healing. So if you found yourself leaning on alcohol or pills more than you'd like, this isn't a call-out. It's a call-in, a chance to step back, take inventory, and ask yourself what you really need. No shame, no fear, just honesty. Because the truth is, your body is still on your side. It wants to feel better, it wants to heal. But it can only do that if you give it the chance. And that starts by cutting back on the things that blur the message. Things that leave you tired instead of rested, numb instead of peaceful, distracted instead of present. The people who age with grace and strength don't ignore their struggles. They face them. They get curious instead of defensive. They replace old habits with healthier ones, not overnight, but one day at a time. And they know that it's not about being perfect, it's about being honest. So if something has become a crutch, if you're noticing it's not helping the way it used to, that's your sign. You can make a shift. You can ask for support. You can explore other ways to calm your nervous system that don't leave you more exhausted afterward. Because the older you get, the more precious your energy becomes. The more intentional you have to be with what you put in your body and how often. This chapter of life isn't about checking out. It's about checking in. Checking in with your health, your emotions, your routines, choosing habits that support your long-term clarity, stability, and joy. And yes, that means letting go of the habits that once helped, but now hurt. Because it's not about denying yourself. It's about protecting yourself, respecting your body, honoring the life you still have ahead of you. And if no one's told you this lately, let me be the one to say it. You don't need to numb yourself to survive. You're allowed to feel things, to rest, to grieve, to heal, and to do it without clouding your system. And you're strong enough to explore new ways of caring for yourself. Because when you do, everything changes. You gain energy, clarity, peace. You reconnect with parts of yourself that you thought were long gone. And that's the kind of change that makes life feel worth living. Not just longer, but better. Number 9, neglecting mental health. This one might be a little harder to talk about, but it's so important, especially as we age. Mental health isn't just about feeling sad or down. It's about the way your mind processes stress, the way you respond to life's challenges, and how you take care of your thoughts and emotions. A lot of times people think that mental health issues only show up as depression or anxiety, but it's more than that. Mental health can show up as irritability, forgetfulness, sleepless nights, or a general feeling of being overwhelmed. As we age, there's a natural tendency to just push through, to ignore things, or to feel like it's not okay to ask for help. But the truth is, mental health affects every part of your well-being, your physical health, your relationships, your energy levels, and your overall quality of life. Neglecting mental health can lead to a breakdown in all of those areas. Your immune system weakens when you're under constant emotional strain. Your energy starts to deplete when your mind is racing. Your body can become tense, fatigued, or even ill when you're not dealing with stress or grief. And here's the thing, it's okay to feel vulnerable. It's okay to feel overwhelmed. In fact, it's a sign of strength when you recognize that you need help and decide to take action. Whether it's therapy, meditation, journaling, or simply having an honest conversation with a friend, addressing your mental health is crucial to living a long, full life. People who age well prioritize mental well-being. They know that emotional health is just as important as physical health, and they aren't afraid to seek help when they need it. In fact, some of the most resilient, joyful people in their later years have had to face mental health challenges head-on. They've worked through grief, they've learned how to cope with loss, and they've found healthy ways to process their emotions. They might still have moments of sadness, anxiety, or stress, but they know how to deal with it. They don't let it rule their lives, and they certainly don't let it steal their peace. One of the biggest things you can do for your mental health is to give yourself permission to feel what you're feeling, and then give yourself permission to work through those feelings in a healthy way. Maybe it's getting some professional support. Maybe it's practicing self-care by doing something you enjoy. Maybe it's simply making time to breathe, meditate, or take a nap. You don't have to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. You don't have to go through it alone. And you don't have to ignore your mental well-being because you think it's a phase or just a part of getting older. Taking care of your mind is just as important as taking care of your body. And the older we get, the more crucial it becomes. Mental health can change the course of your day, your week, or even your life. When you take steps to nurture your emotional well-being, you'll be more present, more connected, and more able to enjoy the moments that matter. So don't let mental health fall by the wayside. Seek help when you need it, and give yourself the time and space to focus on your emotional needs. Because when your mind is clear and at peace, your whole life shifts. You feel lighter, more energetic, more open to the world around you. Your relationships improve because you're more emotionally available. Your body feels better because your stress levels are lower. And your overall quality of life improves because you're not carrying the weight of unresolved emotions or mental strain. Don't let mental health be the one thing you push aside in favor of other priorities. It deserves your attention, your care, and your respect. It's not a luxury, it's a necessity. And by taking it seriously, you're not only improving your own well-being, you're setting yourself up for a healthier, happier future. And here's something to keep in mind. Mental health care isn't just for the bad times. It's for the good times too. The more you prioritize your mental health on a regular basis, the better you'll be at handling whatever life throws your way. You'll have better tools for coping with stress, better habits for processing emotions, and a stronger foundation for living your best life. So if you haven't been making your mental health a priority, now's the time to start. It's never too late to take a step toward better mental health. And the sooner you start, the easier it is to maintain. You deserve peace of mind. You deserve to feel good emotionally, just as much as you deserve to feel good physically. And with a little attention, care, and support, you can make your mental health a priority. Don't wait until things get really tough to start taking care of yourself mentally. Start now, start today, and that's something that will pay off for the rest of your life. Number 10, overworking or ignoring rest. In today's fast-paced world, it's easy to get caught up in the hustle, the constant drive to accomplish more, to do more, to prove that you're still capable, still valuable. But here's the thing, your body and mind need rest, especially as you get older. There's a common myth that the more you work, the more productive you are. But that's simply not true. In fact, overworking without adequate rest can lead to burnout, increased stress, and a decline in both your physical and mental health. It's important to recognize that rest is not a luxury, it's a necessity. Your body needs time to recharge, to repair, and to replenish its energy. Without proper rest, your immune system weakens, your cognitive function declines, and your emotional health suffers. And while you might feel like you can push through in the short term, the long-term effects of chronic overworking are far worse. It's not just about getting tired, it's about compromising your overall health and well-being. Now, rest doesn't just mean sleeping at night. Rest can come in many forms. It's taking breaks throughout the day to stretch, walk, or simply breathe. It's allowing yourself to say no to extra commitments when you're already feeling stretched thin. It's recognizing when you've reached your limit and giving yourself permission to stop, to reset, to recharge. And it's not just about physical rest, but also mental rest. It's stepping away from constant digital stimulation, from the noise and the demands of everyday life, and giving your mind the space it needs to be still. Many people, especially as they age, tend to downplay the importance of rest. They think, I don't need naps, I don't need breaks, or they push themselves to keep going even when they're exhausted. But here's the truth, your body and mind are constantly working, and they need time to recover. If you don't give them the opportunity to rest, you're setting yourself up for long-term problems. And it's not just about how much you rest, it's about how effectively you rest. It's about quality, not just quantity. Good rest doesn't just mean lying in bed. It means allowing yourself the space to relax deeply, to let go of stress, and to reset your body and mind. And this is especially important as you age. Your body doesn't recover as quickly as it used to, so you have to be more intentional about giving it the care and attention it deserves. People who age well understand the power of rest. They know that rest is where recovery happens, where healing takes place, and where strength is restored. And don't confuse rest with laziness. Taking time to rest is not a sign of weakness. In fact, it takes strength to recognize when you need to slow down, to take a break, to recharge. Rest is a proactive way of caring for your health, ensuring that you have the energy, clarity, and vitality to enjoy life fully. And if you're not resting, you're likely doing the opposite. You're stressing your body, your mind, and your spirit in ways that can be harmful over time. When you allow yourself to rest, you're actually improving your productivity in the long run. You're giving your body the time it needs to heal, to rebuild, and to come back stronger. And when you're well rested, you'll find that you're more focused, more energized, and more effective in whatever you're doing. Whether it's work, family, or hobbies, rest allows you to show up as your best self, with the energy and clarity to give your best. It's important to set boundaries around rest. Don't let the demands of life push you into a constant state of busyness. Take time for yourself, prioritize your health, and don't feel guilty about stepping back when you need to. Your body and mind are your most important assets, and you need to take care of them. If you're feeling drained, take a step back. If you're feeling overwhelmed, take a break. Your well-being is worth it. As you age, the need for rest becomes even more critical. Your body and mind are more sensitive to stress and overwork, so it's important to listen to the signals your body is sending you. If you're feeling fatigued, it's okay to take a nap. If you're feeling mentally exhausted, it's okay to step away from work or social obligations and take a moment for yourself. Rest isn't a luxury. It's essential for maintaining your health, your energy, and your overall happiness. And remember, rest is not just about stopping. It's about giving yourself the space to recover fully. Whether it's a quiet walk in nature, reading a book, meditating, or simply taking a nap, make time for rest. It's an investment in your health and your future. The more you rest, the better you'll feel, and the longer you'll be able to enjoy the things that matter most. So don't neglect your need for rest. Prioritize it as an essential part of your daily routine. Your body, mind, and spirit will thank you for it. And you'll find that the more you rest, the more energy you have to give to the things that matter most. As we near the end of today's discussion, I want to remind you that longevity isn't just about adding years to your life. It's about adding life to your years. It's about recognizing the habits that truly support your well-being and letting go of the ones that hold you back. It's about making conscious decisions each day that honor your body, your mind, and your spirit. As we've discussed, small habits, whether they're about diet, rest, stress management, or emotional health, all play a huge role in your quality of life as you age. Now, I know that some of these habits might feel overwhelming at first. You might be thinking, how can I change everything overnight? But here's the good news. This process doesn't have to be about drastic changes. It can be about small, intentional steps. You don't have to fix everything at once. Start with one habit that resonates with you most and focus on that. Maybe it's setting better boundaries, prioritizing rest, or choosing healthier foods. Whatever it is, make that your focus. And as you grow more comfortable with it, you can tackle the next one. One thing to remember is that it's never too late to make changes. Whether you're in your 50s, 60s, or even beyond, you still have the power to improve your health, your happiness, and your overall quality of life. Don't let age be an excuse to stop taking care of yourself. Every day is a new opportunity to make choices that support your well-being. And remember, the changes you make today won't just affect how you feel tomorrow. They'll have a lasting impact on your future. Take a moment to reflect on the habits we've discussed today. Which ones feel familiar to you? Which ones are you already practicing? And which ones might need a little more attention? It's okay if you're not perfect. What matters is that you're aware and you're willing to make small changes that add up over time. And if you slip up, that's okay too. This journey is not about perfection, it's about progress. Every step you take towards a healthier, happier life is worth celebrating. As you move forward, remember to listen to your body. Pay attention to the signals it's sending you. Your body's constantly communicating with you, telling you what it needs, what it doesn't need, and what needs to change. The more in tune you become with your body's needs, the easier it will be to make decisions that support your long-term health. And always be kind to yourself along the way. Don't beat yourself up for mistakes or setbacks. Instead, use them as opportunities to learn and grow. So as we close today's video, I want to encourage you to take one thing you've learned today and put it into practice. Whether it's simplifying your schedule, prioritizing rest, or being more mindful of your emotional environment, start with one small change. Take that first step and know that every step you take towards improving your health is a step in the right direction. You are in control of your own journey, and you have the power to make choices that lead to a fuller, richer life. If you found today's video helpful, I encourage you to share it with someone you care about. Sometimes we all need a little reminder about the importance of taking care of ourselves, especially as we age. And if you haven't already, please like and subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss out on future content that can help you live a healthier, happier life. Your support means the world to us, and we're here to continue sharing insights and tips to help you thrive as you age. Before we end, I'd love to hear from you. What habits have you noticed in your own life that either support or hinder your well-being? Which of the habits we talked about today do you feel most connected to? Leave a comment below and share your thoughts with us. We love hearing from our community, and your feedback helps us create better content to support your health journey. And remember, this is a process, not a race. Take your time, be patient with yourself, and keep moving forward. Thank you so much for watching. We hope you've gained valuable insights that can make a real difference in your life. As always, we appreciate your support, your time, and your dedication to living a life that's full of health, peace, and joy. Keep taking those small steps, and before you know it, you'll have created a foundation of habits that support your health and well-being for years to come. We look forward to seeing you in the next video, where we'll continue exploring ways to help you live your best life as you age. Take care, and remember, you're never too old to make positive changes. Your future is in your hands, and it starts with the choices you make today. Thanks again for joining us, and we'll see you soon.